You think this is a joke? I watched Zombeavers today and you're laughing. I watched Zombeavers and then I just had to go back to my regular ass life, kiss my fiancée, keep plotting my wedding, and try to act like my life hadn't been changed forever.
Beavers are generally more active at night. That road's locked. We sure as hell can't get through on foot.
Fuck a bag of dicks!
Oh, there's no way I'm jumping up for this.
The Google Dictionary describes cinema as the production of films as an art or industry. But what happens when something surpasses cinema and becomes something else entirely? What happens when you transcend to a new plane of existence that makes you, if not literally, then figuratively, a god? We'll never know, because Zombeavers sucks fucking ass. Alright, Zombeavers is about a toxic waste spill that turns beavers into zombies. Beavers really aren't all that dangerous normally, but it doesn't matter. So there's 3 sorority girls staying at a lake house cracking jokes about penises, as all women do when they're alone. Yeah. And they're wearing the shortest of the short shorts that, honey, barely even cut his clothing. That's what women do when they're alone. Yeah, these women were so clearly written by men that even though they're the 3 main characters, this film barely passes the Bechdel test. If that wasn't bad enough, you get a solid, it must have been about 15 minutes where one of these girls takes their top off and she just doesn't put it back on for ages. This is the prime example of a B-movie, because I've been through a lot of these by now. I watch a terrible movie on purpose every Friday, and you start out thinking, oh, that's a funny name for a film, that must be a funny idea, that sounds fun. And almost every time it ends up being that a group of toxic-ass men got together and tried to figure out a way to film young women just taking off their clothes. Like, that's what the vast majority of these morph into, and it's even worse when the men turn up in the film and start, well, there's several sex scenes. Yeah. And they just, like, I thought the women talking was bad enough. Actually, it is, because there is an actual scene before the guys arrive where the 3 girls are playing, like, Would You Rather, and they actually have a full conversation. There's no beavers by this point in the film. There's a full conversation between these 3 women about whether they'd rather, kill their mom or get assaulted by their dad while their mom watches. Like, what the fuck? Then all the men turn up and the film somehow gets even worse. Yeah, that first fight with the zombie beaver, those sound effects, I think those were a war crime somehow. It's rough, and the sheer force of, oh, beavers' vaginas jokes could stop a herd of stampeding bison in their tracks. Ironically, it's like a dam broke, and specifically jokes about vaginas being called beavers came pouring out in a life-threatening torrent. So our main girl's friends who brought her out here to get over her cheating ex actually secretly invited her cheating ex and their boyfriends out, and then they complain at her for not having a good time. And it doesn't matter for this kind of film, of course, really, but I do hate all the characters, and that does not help with anything. And I gotta say, the production quality is weirdly good on this one. Like, I've seen a lot of these films, like I said, and you just expect a film called Zombeavers to have much generally worse everything. There was a surprisingly big crew on this film. The credits were weirdly long for one of these. So I was surprised by a lot of those elements. The thing is about the idea, it's a zombie film where they hole up in a cabin and try to protect themselves from the zombies. The fact that all the zombies are beavers doesn't play into it nearly as much as you would think it does once it gets going. I think it is unfortunate that a film that had this slightly better level of production quality and stuff than the regular B movie, which stands for beaver movie in this case, was so bad. Like, it's got so many bad decisions about story and stuff, and which characters survive a bit longer. The girl whose entire personality is liking sex and taking off her shirt for 15 minutes randomly is the final girl in this film. And I've never heard a film decision that was more clearly based on the fact that the male creators of this movie like the fact that she takes off her shirt a lot, more than it was based on what makes sense for the story. It's pretty grim. A lot of twists for no reason that just lose meaning after a while. So many weird choices that I did not enjoy. But it was still better-ish than some of these a little bit. So I'm giving We Can't Turn Against Each Other, That's What the Beavers Want, 1.5 stars. I just don't get it. Where did they get the budget to make this look like almost a regular film? Like, there are so many funnier B-movies out there that were more deserving of a production quality of this level. It's just so messed up. Subscribe for more hard truths.